Hello everyone, Silent here. Welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a very simple, cheap, and reliable sea pickle farm in your world. This farm produces about 25,000 pickles per hour, which is honestly quite a few, not gonna lie, but it kind of pickles in comparison to my previous farm, which produced around 100,000 pickles per hour. We'll talk about that in just a second, but as you can see, this farm is extremely small and compact for the output that it produces, and the redstone is also dead simple. There's barely anything going on here. Anyone can build this at any point in the game. It's a very, very friendly farm. So the reason why we need a new pickle farm on Bedrock Edition is because Minecraft 1.6 just came out, and that changes two very specific things with how sea pickles and also kelp grow. So before it used to be, you could bone meal a sea pickle or a piece of kelp, and whenever it would grow into a piece of flowing water, it would be instantly broken by that flowing water. And that's how this farm worked. Very little input, very high output. And now what happens in Minecraft 1.6 is whenever sea pickles or kelp grow into flowing water, they turn that flowing water into a water source, and basically everything gets ruined. This works, of course, for kelp as well. So as you can see, this block is now a full water source. So basically we need to completely redesign our pickle farms and also our kelp farms. So don't be surprised if you guys see a kelp farm here on the channel in a couple days. So I think that's just about all the information I really need to tell you guys about sea pickles and kelp. So let's just hop right into the tutorial, shall we? So before we start building, the full materials list for this build will be down in the description for your convenience, in case you're curious what materials you need to build this. So we're going to need a 7x7 area to build this, and you need to decide which way is going to be the front, which way you access your chest, and where your lever is going to be also. So we're going to say that this is going to be the front of our build over here. So start by placing down 3 double chests like that, all next to each other, and 3 hoppers running into the back of all these chests like so. That's going to be for your item collection. Go ahead and place down 3 building blocks right here. It doesn't need to be glass, but glass looks the nicest. And then you basically want to make a 7x7 diamond going all the way around this thing. Just like so. So go ahead and place in a temporary block right there, water source in the center, and then water source in all of these corners like that. Remove your temporary block, and that should make it so that all of these sources in here are solid. Go ahead and place in 8 rails on top of your hoppers like that. Alright, so now you want to go ahead and place in a diamond of temporary blocks all on top of your water sources right here. This is where your coral is going to be in a couple of steps. So now you want to go ahead and place a block on each corner of this, and just like so. And also mark out these corner blocks with some sort of identifier blocks, or just keep track of them. So now you want to make a diamond going all the way around this thing, just like so. And it's not quite a diamond, but whatever, you get the point. So now what you want to go ahead and do is place in a water source right here, and go ahead and place in a temporary block above that. 3 more temporary blocks up like that. Remove those 2 and place in a dispenser facing downwards. So there should be a 1 block gap in between this temporary block and your dispenser right there. Now go ahead and place in another temporary block like that, and you can actually go ahead and start removing all of these temporary blocks down here. Try not to break the sides, and then you need to just kind of climb down here and start placing in your pistons. So you want pistons above all of your water sources that are down here. So this isn't all too difficult of a process. Just go ahead and place them all facing downwards, just like so. And this is, of course, what's going to be harvesting your pickles for you. So once you have all of those in place, you can actually go ahead and start placing in your coral. So you want to place these in all of these positions right here, basically just filling in this bottom diamond where you had your temporary blocks. Now I know this is kind of hard to see because it's very cramped quarters, but hopefully this all makes sense to you guys. So now you need to actually remove this piston right here, remove that temporary block, and replace this temporary block right here with a coral block. Go ahead and crouch and place a water source right underneath that dispenser right there, and then also place in your 1 sea pickle right there. That's going to be your cedar pickle, which is going to be getting bone mealed to produce pickles on all of these different coral blocks. Go ahead and place in your final piston right there, and then you can just break out of this farm by breaking those 2 blocks, replace that coral block, and replace that block as well. So your farm is nearly complete now. Now what you need to go ahead and do is place water sources on top of all of your identifier blocks right here. And that will create a full body of full water sources underneath all of your pistons. And you can just go ahead and check that just by kind of cruising around this thing, looking in there. If anything is flowing, then you need to add in some more water sources. So that is pretty much everything. Go ahead and start placing down a redstone dust on top of all of these pistons right here. And then whichever way is the front of your build, you're going to want to place a block opposite of that. So on the back of your build, place a glass block right here and another solid block up like that. Place a solid block right here, another solid block like that. And then you want to go ahead and get yourself a comparator right here, piece of redstone dust, a repeater on 2 ticks, and one more piece of redstone dust like that. Go ahead and grab yourself another 2 hoppers, place them facing into each other like that, and then just go ahead and throw 1 item in there. We also need to grab ourselves a lever as kind of an off switch, and you can just kind of throw that on top or wire that up however you want. This is kind of just bare minimum. So let's go ahead and throw ourselves a bunch of bone meal into this area right here, and just flick the lever, and as you can see, a whole bunch of pickles are being produced, but currently nothing is being picked up. So what we need to do now is go ahead and just break one of these corner blocks, just like so. Place in a hopper minecart right there, right there, right there, and also right there as well. And then just go ahead and replace that 1 block right there. And now all of our items are being picked up and dispensed into our chests. And your farm is now completely done. So I just ran this thing for a little bit over a minute. Well, actually, I just re-recorded this clip like 5 times. So you'll get about 7 stacks a minute, which equals out to be about 25,000 items per hour. Sorry about the extra items. Should have cleaned that out. Hashtag not professional. Anyway, there's just a few last minute notes about this farm. If you want more than 9 stacks of bone meal in storage, you're going to want to place yourself in a dropper facing downwards into that dispenser. I highly suggest placing this dropper before placing in any of your pistons. Just going to be way easier. And as you can see, this has all of our bone meal in it. You can place a hopper going into the side of that with a chest. On top of that, if you want more additional bone meal storage. And also, this is only about 10,000 items worth of storage right here, these 3 double chests. And also, this center line of hoppers will get backed up if you're planning on using this farm over extended periods of time, 15 minutes plus maybe. So what you'll need to do is in the back here, actually turn this rear hopper going into an additional double chest. That's just to make sure that nothing gets backed up and there's no loss of items. And one final note is that while this farm is running, you'll notice some pickles getting pushed into the corners right here. That's from these pickles right here getting smashed, launched into the corners. But that is completely fine because as you can see, the water actually flows inwards, which pushes all the pickles back into the farm right here. They'll all end up on these center blocks underneath this right here, and then they'll get picked up by the hopper minecarts. So there's actually no loss on this farm except when you turn it off. So when you turn it off, there could be a few just sitting right there. Honestly, not too big of a deal. Yeah, so I just picked them all up and there's only 9 pickles lost from this farm. Not too big of a deal. You can maybe add in some extra hopper minecarts right here, but it's not really worth your time. And that's gonna do it for this tutorial. Thank you all ever so much for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you get out of a pickle with your broken pickle farm. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you got some use out of it or just enjoyed it. And maybe subscribe to the channel if you're new here so you don't miss the next tutorial or let's play that I upload to the channel. Maybe also leave a comment down below if your thoughts or suggestions for this farm or just your general opinions, or maybe you got something funny to say, I don't know. Leave a comment, I love reading comments. But that's gonna do it for this one. I'll see you down in the comment section and in the next video. And then there was silence.